Hey people, Shaman Hawk here for Shamanic Lodge. So I'm going to answer a question. Actually, it's been a couple questions on the same topic, and it's about storms and childbirth, or storms and people being born coming into the earth plane. And, as long as I've been doing shamanism, and I'll always repeat this, I like to be a really logical and practical man first. So in that, the one thing that I've seen for sure, that I absolutely see as a fact, and I know is absolutely true, is that when hurricanes come through, and so when you look at what a hurricane is, it's a long term, very low barometric pressure system coming through an area. And what I've seen a lot of over the years is it seems like that low barometric pressure will have women birthing their children a little bit earlier than normally expected. And there's a lot of theories why for that, and I haven't seen any really like scientific studies done on it. I won't go anywhere past that, but it's something that I've witnessed myself in my life. Now, I have heard, sometimes when tornadoes come through and they have a high drop in pressure, then that can spark that. So, yeah, it's like the mother has enough going on already, have a baby in a hurricane or as a tornado runs through. Um, but then the other question that came through is, could the weather be affected by the child itself coming through? Now, I want to again go back into the real practical sense. And as when I was going through flight school to become a pilot, I had to study meteorology a lot more than most people would. And when you start to really look at the distances, of influence over where you're at your geographical location, some of these systems span hundreds or thousands of miles. I mean, take the jet stream, for instance. That's one. Southeast Florida, well, South Florida in general, we had three weather systems. We had the Atlantic Ocean, the Everglades, and then towards the Gulf of Mexico. And that could cause some really crazy weather. So you start looking, and of course, all these weather systems, have their own subsystems in them. They're all affected differently by the time of the day, the heat, and so on, because of water depth, the season, and so on. To have a weather system affected by a person being born, I mean, think about that. I mean, you're affecting all that mass of air and climate. You would also have to think it would just be catastrophic, if not fatal, on the mother herself. So when you start to look at it that way, it's like, well, I'd have to. Lots of spiders in here. You'd have to look at it like, well, I kind of doubt that part, And of course, we in shamanism we have to really guard ourselves. Well, a lot of the metaphysical disciplines, we have to guard ourselves of looking at too many synchronicities and taking them as signs. That's easy to do if you want to witness something big. And so this is something that I always tell my apprentices and new shamans, like, don't ever think you got these things figured out. Just because you have 10 or 15 synchronicities in line, okay, yeah, it looks like it might be that sign. Might be this bigger purpose, or it's one hell of a coincidence. Unless you have proof either way, you have to go with your more practical options. And that's to keep you grounded. Because at the end of the day, we're still human beings on the earth plane, and we need to be grounded in our perspectives. So, in short, have I seen weather affected by a birth? No, because I don't have any proof of that. I've seen things with the weather happen in series of synchronicities during a birth. Yes, I have seen that. And it would be easy to put stories behind that, signs behind that, some kind of a metaphysical, spiritual meaning. But I don't have proof. But and the other side of this, I have seen the weather itself affect the timing of the birth, as I described earlier. And that's about it. Thank you.